this recipe we are gonna put the oven on 180 degrees and just let that heat up. Depending on how many mince pies you want to make, I just got the pre-made mince meat from Sainsbury's, which is vegan, and yeah, normally it's just a tablespoon or a little bit more per mince pie. It really depends on the depth of the tray you bought and how many you really want to make, but I got a tin like this. You will also need short crust pastry that is ready rolled, just makes life way easier. You will also need some kind of spread. So this one is obviously the vegan spread. It is the Pure Live Free brand. It's not actually gonna be part of the recipe, I just use it so the mince pies don't stick onto the pan. You will also need some kind of icing sugar, so I got this one because it is vegan. Do pay attention to the ingredients and just check that it doesn't contain any milk, because a lot of them do. So this one, the ingredients are just very simple, just icing sugar, dried glucose syrup, and that is it. And you don't need these, but it's quite nice to have these, you know, little pretty Christmassy baking cups that you can add your mince pies to once they are made. You will also need some kind of cookie cutters depending on, you know, the size that you want, and if you want them with little bits like this, or if you want them just round, you can also use this side, but yes. So just place a cutting board, or if you have a surface that is wood, I mean I could just do it on my surface if I wanted to, but I'm gonna use this. Feel free to just add a little bit of flour if you want to the surface so that the pastry doesn't stick, but normally this pastry is quite good for that. Yeah, so as I thought, this pastry has paper underneath, so you don't really need to line your tray or anything with flour, just because it's not really going to stick on anything, unless you do want to roll it out even more and, you know, make sure it's thinner, but I don't think I will. Okay, so for the bottom, take one of the larger ones and just press and cut. I don't really need to explain how to do this. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to pick these ones up and just pop them in a bowl so that I can keep on cutting as many as I want. So now if you take 1 or 2 sizes smaller, I'm going to take 2 sizes smaller just to cut out the tops. So what you're going to do now is take your baking tray that is made from mince pies. I got one for muffins, but just because it's quite deep. And you are going to take your vegan spread. So what I do with this is that I take a piece of tissue and I just rub it in there just to get a little bit. And then simply I'm just going to go round and add a little bit to each one. Not too much, just a little bit so it doesn't stick. So once that's done, you're going to just grab the bottom bits, which are the bigger bits, and we are just going to pop them in. Once you're happy with that, just get your mincemeat. Oh, it smells so good. Grab a spoon and just spoon it. Spoon it like you mean it. And just get another spoon. So, easier to have 2 spoons. Pop it in. So, the trick with this is to... not do what I just did. Is to not put too much in, because otherwise it will all bubble out and just like go everywhere. So once you are done with that, just put your tops on. Okay, so if you do have a toothpick, use that. I don't, so I'm going to use a knife. And I'm just going to prick a hole in the middle. A toothpick would be better, to be fair, but we're doing it how we can today. Now we are going to pop these into the oven. I would say 10-ish minutes, but just keep an eye on them, and if you see them getting golden brown, then remove them. Once the mince pies have cooled down, you can get your icing sugar. A little trick, I don't have a sieve, especially, you know, made for the icing or flour or whatever. So I've got something that I use for draining like vegetables or rice. So what I do is I'm just going to put a lump, like not too big, but just a little bit of icing powder in the middle over the sink. Okay, so that is a lot, but just go on top and you tap just slightly. See? Ta-da! And yeah, add as much as you want really. And that is your mince pies done. So easy, vegan, super quick to make and easy, and they are really, really delicious.